Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving right into one of the most iconic and, let's be real, most terrifying stories in ancient history, the Genesis 19 account of Lot's wife. We all know the classic image, right? A woman is fleeing a burning city, she turns around to sneak a quick peek, and boom, instantly she becomes a pillar of salt. It's legendary. But today, we're actually going to uncover the terrifying physical reality behind what really happened. We are moving way past the pop culture myth to look at the hard historical, linguistic, and environmental facts.
So let's get right into it with Section 1, the Pillar Myth and the Flight from Sodom.
As the famous story goes, angels gave Lot's family a very specific, absolute instruction. Whatever you do, don't look back and don't stop as you flee the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. It's this incredibly dramatic scene of a narrow escape, but it leaves us with a really big question, doesn't it? Did a simple, fleeting glance over the shoulder really cause a magical, instant transformation into a literal block of salt? I mean, let's ask ourselves if that really makes sense, or if maybe, just maybe, we've been completely misinterpreting the mechanics of this catastrophic event for centuries.
To figure that out, we need to move to Section 2, the original Hebrew meaning, and take a much deeper look.
Okay, so here's the linguistic plot twist, and honestly, it completely changes the story. In standard English translations, we assume she was just looking back. But if you look at the original Hebrew word used in the text, it actually translates to returning. So she didn't just idly glance over her shoulder while running away. She reversed course. She actively stopped her forward momentum and physically tried to hike back toward the doomed city.
Which brings us to Section 3, wastelands of salt and sulfur, and the brutal physical reality of that decision. Think about it. If she actually turned around and started heading back, we have to look at the environment she was walking directly into. Deuteronomy 29:23 actually cross-references this exact event, and it describes Sodom and Gomorrah as wastelands of salt and sulfur after fire rained from the sky. So this wasn't just a regular burning town. She was walking right back into a highly toxic, heavy mineral payload dropping straight from the atmosphere.
And we aren't just talking about a light dusting of gentle ash here. This was a catastrophic, absolute fallout. Picture this, fire raining from the sky, laying down this thick, suffocating blanket of sulfur, immediately followed by a massive, heavy deluge of salt. It was a complete environmental collapse that was literally blanketing and burying everything in its path.
So, what's the crucial takeaway here? When Lot's wife attempted to return, she wasn't just magically transformed by some arbitrary curse. She stepped right back into the blast radius. By physically walking back, she was caught dead center in this extreme natural disaster zone. She was literally blanketed and completely encased by the immense, heavy volume of falling salt and sulfur that was burying the entire region.
This completely shifts how we view the end of the story, leading us to Section 4, the cost of returning, consequence, not punishment.
You see, understanding the environment completely reframes this entire narrative. It takes it from a magical myth into a grounded, logical, and incredibly tragic physical reality. Her death wasn't necessarily this petty divine punishment meant purely to instill fear. Rather, it was the tragic, totally natural consequence of ignoring crystal-clear warnings to stay out of a disaster zone. By choosing to return, she subjected herself to the deadly, suffocating physical realities of that fallout.
And honestly, this leaves us with a pretty profound framework for understanding the text and even our own lives. Heeding warnings and moving forward, that is exactly what protects us. But physically or emotionally clinging to the past, trying to return to what is already slated for destruction, well, that comes at a great and sometimes fatal cost.
So I'll leave you with this final thought to wrap up our explainer today. Knowing the brutal, grounded reality of the